Right, you may have created some ideas. They may be quite simple ideas like this, where you've just used the simple tops to go onto the top of the basic shape, or perhaps extended like we showed you in the last video. You might have even gone really mad and put different tops on different ends. This time we want to make them a bit more complex and away from this basic F shape. You'll find this video a little bit lower down on the screen. So if you remember you looked at the screen last time, you'll find this video will be a little bit lower down where it tells you about extending your ideas. So using the same background underlay sheet, you can use a new bit of paper. You can still draw the basic shape, but this time we're going to extend it and change it a little bit more complex. So you could draw a little foot that might go at the bottom, which would allow your design to actually sit up on one end and allow things to flop against the sides. And we could extend this front tray up the front here. So if I still draw just the basic outline, nothing strenuous, I'm still using the underlay in exactly the same way as we described in the last time. But this time I want to put a shelf on the front of here. So I'm going to mark where I want to put the shelf, and I'm going to move it down until this part of the grid underneath appears. So I'm going to move that down until I can see the grid underneath. And then I'm going to draw that bit of the grid. And then I'm going to move that across to our ends there, and I'm going to line that up with the front of the ends, and I'm going to draw the top of that in there. Now that line there won't be needed, those lines there won't be needed, so they can be rubbed out along with that line. Equally so, I could put a different top or something like that, or I could put a shelf in here. And again, if I put that back on here, I decide where I want to put the shelf. So I might decide to put the shelf there, and then I slide it down to where the shelf would fit. I make sure the verticals are lined up, and then I can draw the shelf using the underlay like that. And again, that line and that line and that line can then be rubbed out and won't be needed. Now, if I've got a design like that I'm not completely happy with, or I've made too many mess-ups on, I can take my grid away and I can put a fresh piece of paper over that, and I can retrace the idea. But to be honest, because you're going to put colour on it, it doesn't really matter. So you could create some more complex ideas like that, or you could even, one I did earlier, you can add a shelf at the back, you can make it into a little box shape, but you can see that the design is getting away from my original F-shape based design. Simple and sweet. See if you can draw 3 or 4 quite complex designs like that, and again, just keep them on their paper ready to be coloured or toned next time.